Okay, so Bates is the only injury that we have. He's in concussion protocol. You guys saw that. You know, from the onset of the week, start of the week, obviously made the change at offensive coordinator. Was really pleased how the operation of that week went in terms of the collaboration with the offensive staff and the players, and I think that showed today. Communication during the game was great. Guys are finding answers to move the ball, and they did a nice job of that. I thought Thomas Brown did a wonderful job of bringing that collaboration together. And then the quarterback Caleb, I thought played really well. He played well today, played winning football. The drive that they had there and the completions he made to put us in field goal range, I thought were outstanding. The two plays to Rome, and then also the play to Keenan. That's real football there and against a division rival, and did a really nice job putting us in position there. The team played complementary football. The defense had some good stops, had a stop and downs in the red zone, had an interception down there, and also stopped a two-point conversion, which put us in position to win the game at the end. You know, again, in terms of the operation there from the 30, you know, we ran the ball one time, tried to get a few more yards. Right there, we felt good in terms of where the kick line was. The wind was not a factor today, and Cairo's made a bunch of those kicks inside of that range. And we feel confident in Cairo and confident in our operation there. Again, I got to look at the tape. I don't know exactly what happened in terms of the block, but feel good about where that was. So again, I know disappointing, and we should have had a walk-off field goal win there, and again, that didn't happen. And we just got to look at the operation there at the very end. But I was proud of the guys, the way they battled. I thought they played good complementary football today, and you know, the guys looked at each other in the eye in the locker room when we broke it down, and we're going to keep battling, keep fighting, and we got a division opponent coming here next week. So that's where it is, and it takes true strength and true courage, I told them, and you know, tough times don't last, but tough people do, and that's where it's at right now, and we just got to get back to work. Once we look at the tape, make the corrections, because there was good. Of course, in every performance, and there were some things we got to clean up in every performance, and we got to move to the next one after we do that. So I'll take questions.
You had time to run another run play if you wanted to set up the field goal. What was the conversation?
Yeah, you know, they were loading the box there. You know, so you could say you could do that for sure. Maybe get a couple more yards, but you also risk you know fumbling and different things there. We felt where we were. You know, if we're at the 36 or 35, you know, you're definitely doing that because you want to get it inside there. I felt very confident where we were at that time with the wind and where we were on the field.
Matt, do you have a sense for what happened on the long one to Watson where Jalen kind of got tangled up and it broke?
Yeah, we thought he was in good position. I mean, I got all the information I got is from the coaches. You know, I still haven't looked at the videotape, but they got the stills, and they say he was really good position. That's what Jalen said, and then he just got tripped up. You know, and so I threw the challenge flag because I thought the ball hit the ground and the hand was on the side, and that's what we challenged, and they saw it differently.
Matt, you guys have last 4 weeks, I guess you said drop games in every which way possible. How do you turn that into positive from today because you did see that progress on your offense? Yeah, there is, like I said in the opener, there was a lot of positives to build from, and that's what you have to do. You know, so the last 3 weeks, you know, the offense, you know, hadn't played well. We hadn't played good complementary football on defense, and we haven't done a lot of things together, you know, the last 3 weeks. But today we played complementary football. Today we did do the things necessary to win the game. So I think it's a positive thing, and we just got to move forward from it. You know, I know it's disappointing at the end, but we have to move forward.
On that fourth and two before they scored, how much thought did you give into going forward versus punting?
Yeah, 4th and 3, I believe it was. Yeah, 4th and 3. Yeah, that time in the game where the score was right there, we thought punt and pin and have us play defense. I know they got the big play to Watson and so forth, and ended up, you know, scoring, and then we ended up stopping the 2-point. But you know, that's where it was at the point. And the guys did a good job, and Thomas did a really good job in terms of me communicating with him on those other 4th down tries when we were 3 for 3. And I thought those were important. But again, those were impactful plays as we went, but great communication all the way.
Why'd you go for 2 at 19-14?
I'll make it 7 points. Yep, make it a 7-point game.
Point of the game.
Yep. Yeah, because when you get close, I think it was 31 seconds to go or so in the going into the fourth. You turn it into the fourth. So there's a point in there where you make that decision. Some people would wait to the fourth. Some people would do it higher than that, but that's where it was.
What's your sense for why the offense got unlocked the way it did? 3 straight scoring drives, and it seemed like there was a flow.
Yeah. Just I believe during the course of the week, the conversations of getting the ball to our skill players, and I think the distribution in the run game was good. With the runs, 14 to 10, with our 2 runners. I thought Caleb did a nice job of taking the run lanes when they were there, and creating, some explosive plays, but also, creating 2nd and 5s and those types of things too. But really just about getting the ball in the hands of our skill players. And letting them go. And you saw that with a couple, things to Rome and a couple things to DJ, and some creative ways and being creative that way, because that's what it is. You put the ball in the hands of the players, of the skill players that are really good players. A couple of them I just mentioned, and Keenan and the other guys are those 2. Good things will happen, and that's how you move the ball down the field.
What were your impressions of the way?
Well, it's been 11 straight games. The Bears have lost 11 straight games to the Packers. Longest losing streak against a single opponent in Bears history. The last time the Bears beat the Packers, it was Week 15 of 2018. Mitchell Trubisky was the Bears quarterback, and Caleb Williams, well, he was a sophomore in high school at Gonzaga Prep.